Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. The food experience is back. And today's experience, we're going to try to make some donuts in the Kalorik Maxx air fryer oven. That's right, donuts. And to assist me with it, I recently purchased some of these silicone donut molds off of Amazon. And what I thought I would do this time is just use some regular mix, okay? If this works out okay, I'll probably come back and do it from scratch. I was kind of thinking of doing that, but I'm like, well, what if it doesn't work out well? There's going to be a lot of time and effort that goes into it. So first, we're going to try it with some Betty Crocker French vanilla cake mix, because I like the cake type of donuts. I don't really care for the biscuit kind, you know? So with this, I'm also going to need an egg. I'm going to need some vegetable oil, and I'm going to need a cup of water to prepare the cake mix. And then afterwards, or while it's going, I'm going to go ahead and prepare glazed topping. I'm going to do that from scratch. And with that, I'm going to need some vanilla extract, some light corn syrup, some confectioner's sugar, otherwise known as powdered sugar, some butter, and a little bit of milk. So let's go ahead and get things going, shall we? All right, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and tip up the mixer. First thing is to go ahead and add the cake mix. So I'm going to do that now. French vanilla sounds like a good idea to use for donuts. They also had yellow cake, and I'm like, I think French vanilla sounds like it's going to go over better. So that's why I decided to pick it. I almost did chocolate, but I'm going to save that for another time. Next, go ahead and add a cup of water, a half a cup of vegetable oil. Then we're going to need 3 eggs. There's 1, 2, and 3. Next, we're going to go ahead and lower the mixer. And it says to go on medium for like 2 minutes. You can use a regular mixer, like a hand mixer. You don't need a stand mixer. This is just easier. So I'm going to start it off low and slow. And let it do its thing. And actually, that looks good enough. We're going to go ahead and stop it there. Everything is definitely mixed together quite well, as you can see. Now that we got the batter all prepared, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on oven mode. I think it's better to use that rather than air fry. And we're going to go with the traditional bake setting. And I'm going to go ahead, set it for 325 degrees. That's what it says to use for non-stick type pans, which I believe the silicone molds are. We're going to find out because it's my first time doing these. So not only is this a fun thing to do to make the donuts, but it's also going to be kind of a review of these silicone molds, you know? I've heard of some people greasing them up. Others say you don't have to. Being that it's my first time, I think I'm going to do that though. So let's go ahead and start the preheat. And you'll know when the preheat is done because the bake light will turn solid. It'll stop blinking, okay? While the oven is preheating, I'm going to go ahead and get the donut batter ready. And I'm going to go ahead and lightly coat it with some canola oil spray. Hopefully that works out. Oh yeah, and one thing I thought that was humorous. Probably isn't really humorous, but to me it's humorous because I find humor in anything. Right at the bottom of the box here on one of the sides, let's see. Yeah, there it is. Contains bioengineered food ingredients. Lovely, right? Does that mean it's like made in a laboratory or something? Wow. And there's pudding in the mix. That's what it says. I just laugh at things like that. I know I made cakes before with their frosting and it's also bioengineered. Just so weird, you know? So I'm going to go ahead and spoon some of the cake batter in a Ziploc bag. And I'm not going to go by putting all of it in there. I'm just going to put some of it in there because I have some plans with the rest of the donut mix. I'm actually going to make some of these really spicy with some ghost pepper. Because I like living on the spicy side of life. I don't know if you all remember, but Dunkin' Donuts, maybe they still have them, but they had some ghost pepper donuts. They actually had like no ghost pepper in there at all. No detectable heat. And not for me at least. And I had seen other people try them that weren't even into chasing the heat like me. And they were saying the same thing. Just like they're not even hot at all. Alright, so I'm going to make sure that nothing's at this end. And I don't think you want to cut it open too big. So I'm going to try down there. Hopefully that's good enough. And from what I understand, you only want to fill these up about 3/4 of the way. I think they're about 3/4 full. And since I've never prepared donuts, I think I'll go with the bake 2 position. Sounds legit, right? I think what will work best is pulling out this tray a little bit and then putting these on and then sliding the tray back. Close her up and let her rip. You know, I really forgot about multitasking while that's going, and it looks like it's actually coming along good. I should get the glaze going, right? So I'm going to try to use a medium bowl. You need 1 1/4 cups of the confectioner sugar, and they want you to use sifted confectioner sugar, which I don't have a sifter, so we're going to hope this goes okay. There should be no clumps is what it says. I also wish I had a bigger measuring cup, something I should consider if I do further baking videos. One that does like 3 cups or something like that. It would be nice. And that's roughly a cup. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in. Doesn't really look clumpy. Looks pretty powdery. And let's get that little bit extra to make a 1/4 cup. And that looks right about there. So go ahead and add that. It says to add a tablespoon of corn syrup. Alright, so a tablespoon. Boy, that stuff's thick. Never used corn syrup for anything in my life. Like I said, I haven't really been into baking most of my life until now. I really want to get all the benefits out of the Kalorik Maxx air fryer. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in. And it may be time to check them in just a second here. Looks like the middle one is maybe a little bit bigger than the other two. I tried to make them as perfect as possible. But again, this is a first time. This is like a science experiment, right? So let's go ahead and give it a check. Get a toothpick. Yeah, it's sticking just a little bit, but not really much. I'd say another 2 minutes, they'll probably be good to go. Also, it calls for 1 or 2 tablespoons of milk. I'll go with 2. Why not? Boy, that's making a mess. There's 1. And there's 2. Also, they call for a tablespoon of melted butter. So I got some unsalted butter here. So I'm going to take 1 tablespoon worth of butter, put it in a microwave safe dish, and go ahead and microwave it to melt. That should be good. Yeah, it's all nice and melted. So let's go ahead and pour that in. Every last little drop as much as I can. There we go. And I think these are about done. Yeah, I see a little bit of browning on one of them. Actually, 2 of them. So my guess is they are probably done. Let's go ahead and stop the operation. Safety first. Oh, I got a train coming by. That's always special right in the middle of a video. In fact, I'm just going to take this out. Let it cool off for just a second, and we'll go ahead and prepare the rest of this. And I got this recipe online. Hopefully it's right. I mean, kind of from what I'm seeing, it looks like there's way more powdered sugar than there is wet ingredients for it to make any kind of a reasonable glaze. I'm thinking probably some more corn syrup, if anything, but I'm going to try to whisk it together, but you can see it's really clumpy. Gotta love recipes that are online, man. You don't always know they're gonna work, you know? And it's good that we're here anyways, because I totally forgot one of the main ingredients. And that is gonna be 1/2 of a tablespoon of vanilla extract. And I'm gonna dump that right in. But yeah, this is too gunky looking. It looks like powdered sugar still. So we're gonna have to revise this a little bit, because I don't think that's right. I don't think what they call out for in this recipe is exactly right. This is going to be too darn thick. And I've seen other people do this, and it's not all thick like this. So let's go ahead and add in a little bit more of the corn syrup. There's 1 more tablespoon, and we're going to do another one. So that'll be 3 tablespoons now of corn syrup. And I definitely think a little bit more milk. I had put in 2. So there's 3 and a little bit more than 4. There we go. And I'm just whisking it together. At least it looks liquidy now. I mean, this looks like a lot more proper from what I've seen of different donut videos and people using glaze. I'll show you in just a second. I don't know if you could see, but it's a lot more fluid now, you could say. I mean, it was looking like just straight up powdered sugar a second ago. So that looks pretty darn good. A little taste of that, right? Oh yeah. That's nice and sugary. It definitely tastes like a glazed donut, like the topping. Meanwhile, let's get back to the donuts. In fact, I'm going to take you down. We'll see if these come out. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take this and turn it upside down, and hopefully they fall out. Or at least they come out. They're not just plopping out, I'll tell you that much. Okay. All right, that's good. It's coming. They're coming out. I just wondered though, if I didn't use the cooking spray, they may have been a little bit tougher to come out. But those definitely look like donuts. Definitely do. And I think I want to let them cool down for a second, let them firm up a little bit. And just to show you the glaze, I mean, there it is. It is pretty thick still. But I think the texture and consistency is good. I guess you could use the top as the top, or you could use the bottom as the top. From what I'm seeing, they want you to use the bottom. So just kind of dunk it in there. Yeah, these may come apart. I'm going to put it back on the rack. So there's the donuts, and you got to let them sit and cool for the icing to harden. And I know that takes some time. And just to make things fun, I decided to get some little toppings here. They didn't have the rainbow sprinkles, but they had these carnival lights, edible confetti. So we're going to go ahead and try that. And you definitely want to do this while the glaze is still wet. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, so there's the first batch. All right, so let's get on to making some more. Now, the next ones I'm going to make are going to be spicy, okay? Because I'm a nut job like that. I like the spicy side of life. And I'm going to use this ghost pepper powder from the Sonoran Spice Company. Big shout out to one of my subscribers, James Land. He sent me a whole set with this scorpion powder and Carolina Reaper powder. And I didn't want to make them Carolina Reaper hot. Ghost pepper should be just fine. And with the remaining bit of batter, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say 2 tablespoons. There's 1 and there's 2. Let's go ahead and lower down the mixer again and put it on low and get all that ghost pepper powder worked in there. That should be good. Let's take a look. You can definitely tell the color of the batter has changed dramatically. And I'm sure these are going to have a good kick to them. Sure hope so, at least. And since the donut molds came in a pack of 3, I'm going to use the orange ones because they're hotter donuts, right? Makes sense to me, at least. All right, so this time I filled up a larger portion. Right now I'm trying to debate whether I use the cooking spray or not. Because certainly they didn't come out easily, but they didn't break either. And I'm not sure if it helped. I really don't know. But since I don't want to chance things, it's my first time using these. You know what? Maybe I'll do half of them with the cooking spray and half without. And we'll compare the difference. That's a good idea. There we go. I got half with cooking spray and half without. Maybe I will invest in a pastry bag one day. Close enough for government work. Let me clean this up a little bit. Some of these are a little bit full though, so they're really going to puff out. And I'm also going to arrange it near the front so nothing's at the rear of the oven. I'm also going to set a time so I know kind of what time to keep an eye on. And I'm going to go for, say, 12 minutes at 325. All right, there we go. Let's stick her in. And you kind of want to do that quick so the oven doesn't lose temperature. It's got to be a 1, 2, 3 quick operation. So I'll check back with you in just a few. All right, so let's do a quick look. Still got 6 minutes remaining of time that I set. Yeah, the ones in the back are a little bit taller than the ones in the front, and I expected it. I put a little bit more batter in those cavities. But yeah, still need some time to cook. And I could tell from the set of the last one, they should look a little bit brown on top. So I'm going to let them go. Check back with you in a minute. Okay, there's 2 minutes of the cycle remaining. And wow, the ones in the back, man, I really overfilled them. And the middle one especially is like really poofed up. But they're looking pretty good, definitely. And if the full 2 minutes completes, then I'll do a quick check and see if we need to go some more. Nothing wrong with a little trial and error, especially when you're on video for everybody. Yeah, that's what's up. Also to note, I could totally smell the ghost pepper coming out of the oven. These definitely are going to have a nice kick to them, I could tell. All right, the cycle's done. Let's do a quick check to see if they need more time. Let's go ahead and slide them out. Close the oven to keep the temperature in there. Let's check them out. They definitely need like another minute or two. Okay, no worries. I think I'm going to swap positions though. I'm going to put the ones in the back towards the front. But let's go ahead and put them back in. And I'm going to go for 5 minutes. 325 degrees and let it rip. All right, there's 3 minutes remaining in this 5-minute cycle that I did. And they don't seem to be getting too brown or anything on the top. And I'm thinking they may take a little bit longer with the added ghost pepper powder than they would have without the powder. So just going to let it keep going. And it looks like I'm going to let the whole cycle complete. All right, they're done. And also to note, the original batch, I put the rack they were on in the refrigerator, so they should be all nice and firmed up. The glaze should be dry. We'll check that out shortly. Let's go ahead and remove them. Yeah, definitely nice and clean. No cake is coming off on the toothpick. And I'm going to go ahead and let them rest for a couple minutes before I take them out, just like I did last time. I've gone ahead and let the donuts rest for about, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes. I just want to make sure they're firm and they're not going to just come right apart. Let's go ahead and tip them over and try to glaze them. All right, let's see if they'll come out of there. I sure hope so. See if I could just give a little push to each one of these. Maybe it'll help them. Yeah, they may be more like muffins now because I kind of overfilled the cavities. But if I could get them out, that'll be great. And it'll also be good to know if the ones I didn't use the cooking spray on come out easily. And they all seem to be coming out, so I have a feeling the cooking spray may not be needed. Yeah, they are a little bit like muffin tops. Definitely filled them up too high. But that's okay. I already knew when I was pouring the batter in there, like, yeah, it's a little too much, Andy. Little too much. Okay, there we go. They all came out. Now, these ones look great that I didn't really. Well, that one has a little bit of a lip. This one looks okay. But they all came out pretty good. Definitely. So I really don't think you need to use any kind of cooking spray with this. That's what it seems like. Now for the fun part, the glaze. And let's go ahead and try to glaze them. Boy, I'm not sure which side to use, to be honest. But now that I let these cool off, I don't think they're going to come apart as easily. So give them a good glaze. Let the stuff drip off. And I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle these as well. I like sprinkles. They're fun, you know? Why not? All right, let's go back up. All right, so there we go. I made 3 regular donuts that I have right here. And the icing is definitely hardened. It's not all just sticking to my finger or anything. Then I got the ghost pepper donuts that I'm going to have to put in the refrigerator and let them cool off. So I'm not going to be trying these on camera right now, but I'll certainly come back and post a comment in the comments down below when I'm finished. All right, so let's go ahead and give the regular glazed donuts a try. Just going to eat one of them. I'm going to save the other 2. But they're a little bit sticky still. They can still cool down a little more. But here goes. Well, those are good. They're not like regular donuts. You need a fryer to do that. But they definitely have like a lot of French vanilla taste from the cake. The glaze is on point. Although you saw me, I had to kind of revise their method, what I found online. So I will post all that in the description down below eventually. I may not be able to do it right when I post the video because I have to go to bed early tonight and wake up at 3 in the morning for work, but I will come back and post everything in the description. And those candy sprinkles, they just put like another element. They're kind of fun, but you know they're candy sprinkles there. They're a little bit crunchy. I dig it. I think it's a success. You know, I'm still going to come back and make donuts from scratch, make my own batter from scratch. I found quite a few recipes online to do it. And also it would be good to see if I could actually use the air fryer mode to do it. But the thing is with the air fryer mode, you're pushing air directly down and it's going to brown the top of them. Chances are like a lot sooner than the inside would be cooked. So that's why I went with the traditional bake method, okay? Not everything you want to use in the Maxx in air fry mode, and this is kind of a prime example. But nonetheless, if you have air fried donuts in the Maxx, cake donuts like this, let me know in the comments down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, I love doing these things for you guys. I like showing everyone what I can do in the Maxx. And this time, whether you have a regular oven or a Maxx, you can do these in the regular oven, easy peasy. So here's what I'm going to do. In the description down below, I'm going to post the link on Amazon where I got the donut molds. They seem to work out really well. They're a little bit smaller than your average size donut shop donuts, but they're not quite as small as the mini donuts. They're kind of like an in-between, you know? But I'll go ahead and post that link down below. Also, a big shout out to all my people in the Kalorik Maxx air fryer oven group. You guys are awesome. Keep posting those great recipes and ideas. I totally dig it. I'm no one special. All because I have a YouTube channel, I'm no better than anyone else. I just like to video all my experiences, hence the name, The Food Experience. That's why I'm here. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this experience, and if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I got a lot of content coming up. Not just cooking, but I also review snacks, spicy stuff, hot sauces, peppers. I do crazy hot challenges. I do all kinds of different things. Anything food related, it goes on my channel. So with that said, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please drop me a line below. Let's interact with each other. I love seeing your comments. And I'm going to wish you all a stellar day. Be excellent. And most of all, remember me. I'm KJ Andy O, your food experience host with the most. Take care, my fine folks, and I'll see you next time. Laters.